Hello. Forgot my pin. Sorry. Just in case I make a mess. Happy Friday. Friday. Lovely. Oh, radio's on again. Friday, end of the week. Weekend coming up. Brilliant. Right. Portraiture. You know I like portraits. Oh yeah. Figurative. I'm a watercolour, so it was my thing, colour chart. So I've got the colour chart again. I hope other people have made one, so you can see what I am on. Yeah. So you can see what colours we're using today. Although it's a black and white image, we're going to just throw colour at it today, I think. Make him kind of appear. Did one of these years ago of another guy, I forgot his name actually. Another Saxophonist, which I sold. Very, very loose actually. A lot looser years ago than I am today, so I'm tightening up too much really. I start painting with my left hand and see what happens. And yeah, I better sit down and I'm too high up. So yeah, colour wise, black and white image, you can use any of these really, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to use a bit of wax. Might use a bit of salt in his curly hair, just to give him that, no beard on this one. His name is Charlie, I forgot his blooming name, should have wrote it on. I put it on the website anyway, didn't I? Charles, not Charles Parker. Anyway, it's on the website, the brain's not with it today. So we're using similar colours, or same colours we always use. I might use a little bit of wax. I've got my rubber, I've got a waterproof pen again, yeah, an eraser, a bit of candle wax, pencil, usual stuff. We'll have to start changing things and do a bit more splattering techniques, I think. Let's see how we go on. Straighten my easel up a bit, sorry. Sun's shining, might get out for a walk after, brilliant. And I haven't got my vaccine yet, so if you've got yours, I hope it works well. We all need it, don't we? So there you go, so we're using cadmium yellow. We're not using cadmium yellow actually, we're going to be using burnt sienna and alizarin and ultramarine. Probably might use a bit of green. I might use some cerulean, not too sure yet. Whatever takes your fancy, but mainly warm and cool colours. So you're in this kind of range really, aren't we? Greys, not many browns, don't want to go mucky. Keep it transparent like that. First washes, put them anywhere. One we did a while ago, I did a young girl, and I just drew her quite meticulous really. It took me time drawing her, and then I just kind of put it flat, because we put it right flat, and then just throw some paint at it. So you get these drips and runs and everything, and then you make the face appear from that, which is quite an interesting way. We could do something similar to this one, but we've got quite a lot of dark background on this, which we could actually, if we did use a bit of pastel, white pastel, you can change that. You can make because you've got the spectacles are going to be catching the light, something like that. Yeah. Or you can actually paint in around the background so it becomes a bit lighter, like something like that. So we get a negative space. Change the composition slightly. Yeah. You can have it lighter on this side. Just coming up to his. So I'm just going to put that in. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you what you can do, just to change the composition a little bit. So you got these colours creating a negative space around his head. We don't actually have to do this side of the head, but some people will probably want to put it in. It's just a dark shade that's going to blend into the rest of the picture. We're going to use the wax to bring out the highlights. This is not his top eyelid, it's a reflection in his spectacles, so you want to keep that reflection. So we'll probably use a bit more wax on that. Yeah. The thing is with spectacles, like I said before, if you start painting them as just circles. You're going to look like something you got out of a lucky bag. Remember lucky bags? It had a moustache attached, and you stick them on your face and they clip on. Well, they just don't look real. So we've got bits of it that are catching the light. We've got bits of it in shadow. Bits of it disappear into the background and the face, and then we've got lovely shadows from the light which is coming down from the right hand side. So we kind of just paint the shadows and make. You can't see his eyes, so he's having a really good blow on that sax, and yeah, so it should be an interesting subject. Yeah, so that is our kind of colour area here, building up to this really dark. Yeah. But using these colours to get the darks as well. So yeah, a little bit of viridian just to give us some turquoise or whatever. And we'll see where we go from there. So if you haven't done one of these yet, colour chart, yeah, just make a colour chart. Add the colours underneath, do little arrows showing you what you can make when you join two colours together. And then your tertiary colours, which is another stage from that, yeah. Blue, so you get your purple mixed with your sienna and alizarin, things like that, or you get your sienna and your alizarin, ultramarine, things like that, and then you'll know, you pick up what you can do. Okay, up. So I've got my specs, got my old shirt, got my pinny on. Let's go, should we? If you're working along, try and keep it loose. This one, we'll get the eyes in the right place and the nose and the mouth. You are looking up at him, so if you draw a line, a curved line from top of his ear, it's actually slightly higher in the centre of your picture. It's easier to kind of just do that. You can see where if you drop the ear and the other eyebrow down, you can see that this eyebrow is higher. You can see? So you got that distance. So you must have a curve there. The same with the eyes. So you must have a curve there. And you must have a curve from the bottom of the ear to the bottom of the nose. So you are looking up at him, you're not looking straight ahead. So whether you do that or not, I know people just do it their way, different matter. And I've got a soft pencil. I'm probably going to use a pen over the top of this one, just to give me the line. They've all got pens, these, so you get this, it's kind of similar colours. So you've got the greens, ultramarines, alizarines, burnt siennas, just for the warms. Yeah, so that should be something to go off colour-wise. So because it's kind of up and down really, there's no kind of there is a curve there slightly. Anyway, we'll just draw the egg. So our egg's off centre, so it's slightly over this side. You look at the centre of the egg. So this eye is more or less just off centre. So we draw the egg here, and we want to come at least kind of halfway down your picture. So we want to get down to about here where his double chin is. So we're just doing this, and we do want a lot of drips, and we do want, I probably won't bother with this bit of the saxophone. Might put his tie on and a bit of his coat, and that's it. So the head's going off the picture. You can't actually see it. So lots of little lines. One of them's got a bit of that. And then we put the axis in, which is a slight tilt. Okay? Just a slight tilt like that. So from that line, sorry. Lots of little lines, like I said, but sometimes it gets confusing. And then from the centre of that, so if he was looking straight ahead, that would be the centre of the egg. But he isn't, he's looking that way. So now we draw, because that's a straight line, we draw a 3/4 view, so we do a curve. Just a slight, not too much, but just enough to give him a turn of the head. And then because we're looking up at him, and his ear's going to be, so that's the eye level, the ear level's higher. So we've got a curve on the eye, so that is the eye level, like that. That's going to be his kind of ears. Top of his ears, top of his eyebrow. Okay, so where that touches this one, we do a circle, and you do it kind of thinner because it's going around the corner. This one is going a little bit thinner still. Again, get a feeling for it. This one is more of a circle. Again, keep the centre, even though you can't see his eyes, the centre is going to be where the pupil would be if he was looking at you, and the top of his ear. And so look at the distance from this eye as well to where the ear is positioned. It's way back here until that top of the ear. Alright, so we can't see any of this because it's all in shadow. And then we get the negative space. Don't draw the spectacles at this stage. Position the eyes. Because he's got his eyes closed, you've got that ball, but you've got the, just see where the top eyelid comes to, and this is the eyebrow just behind the spectacles. That'll go into, and it gives you that lovely shape between the nose. You can see this, and then if you draw the inside of the spectacles like that, you should end up with this shape and shadow. So you get a shape and a shadow there, and then the other spectacles are just about here. I'm just going to draw them slightly coming out. You need to have them level naturally, so that will be the other side of those spectacles. Try and keep them the same size as well, and because we're coming down from his ear at an angle because it's behind his ear, we get the join to the specs there, and we can just see a little bit of this curve. So that eye and the shadow is coming out from this direction. This one, I'm just going to sketch in the light catching that here, and then there's a bit of light here as well, and the inside of the specs and the shadow, and that goes that way now. And then you just get this on his cheek again, line it up with the other side because that needs to be a straight line as well. Then we can start looking at the shape of the spectacle there, which is giving you the shape of his nose. So because his nose again is about halfway where it sits on the face, you can still see the white bit there, which is higher. So we get that wedge shape like that. That will bring out the nose to about here, like that, to give you the nostril in that area. Okay. Again, you've got a lovely shadow there. You can put these in as they link things together. The other eye we can hardly see, but we can see that reflection in his spectacles, and this comes out a little bit further, you see. So we can just keep that there. If you put any wax on later, it needs to be in the right place because we can't remove it naturally. Then we look at the nostril distance. It's quite a big one there. Yeah, needs a lot of hair to bring in to that shape. Breathing, and the nostril shape, which is quite big because if you look where it goes to, it's just next to his near where his specs are. So we need that shape and that curve. All right. Again, that's negative, and it's in shadow. If you want to cross hatch, that's fine. We'll make that a little bit bigger because it's darker in there. Alright, we've got a little creases here and there, and you can just see his eyebrow here, so this shape is dark. Sometimes it helps to cross hatch. You can just see the side of his face, and then we've got Rembrandt's triangle, which is this angle here, which connects the shadow, you see, to the nose, and that gives you the distance, and then that gives you also his puffy cheek there. So you come out, you've got a bit of a line there because that is then going to be where the mouthpiece is going to be, and it's a straight area. Okay, so this is the philtrum, which you can see is a bit of a moustache coming down here. That's going into the shape of the face there. Okay. His forehead, by the way, is up there, comes down from about here, and then you come out for the eyebrow. All this is in shadow, so it disappears. That's a nice shadow as well there on the face. I'm just drawing shapes. This is the mouthpiece, goes into the mouth, got his top lip. Can't see the middle of his lip. Can't see a bit of his moustache coming down here like that. It's changing the shape of his mouth, isn't it? And then top lip coming out, and then we've got the bottom lip about here. That's coming out as well. From there, keep it thick enough. Okay, and that's giving you a shadow which comes all the way down from there to his chin. Actually, you can see his double chin. So you're getting that lovely line from here. You've got kind of something there that is on the saxophone, and this kind of lovely curve of the mouthpiece like that. And again, if you look at the negative here, it's a little bit wider, and that's a bit narrower. Okay, so we can draw those in, join them up. We'll use a wax to put that in, and then here we're going off the picture. So this is where it kind of curves away. We can't see the rest. We're just going to leave that as a couple of shapes. Okay, so like that. You get the general idea of what he's doing. Alright. There's a few more lines on there. Not too much. I don't want to do too much. And because it's puckering, kind of blowing, you've got these lines around his mouth as well. Then the side of his face, you've got these little shadows. You've got this shadow here on the chin. We're inside the shadow, actually. And then from this, so it looks like one of these little screws, I think they use. This screw head, we're coming down to his first chin, really, which is there. If you draw a line from the side of the mouth, which is going to be quite a way, like that, because that's going into that part of the chin. Okay, let's go and live you up. And then the other side of the chin is there, because it's squashing down on his chest. It's pushing the chin out. So you need that distance there, that from there and that from here. You can see, you just want that. So all this is in shadow, which is going to be covered up really. We'll put his ear in, top of the ear, again on the curve. It just lines to help, and then the shape of the ear, you can see where that lovely line is there, and then just inside you can draw lines either parallel like that, just to give you that distance from the corner of his eye to where you're getting that inside of the ear, which is about here actually, sorry. And that's in shadow as well. His hairline, again, going down to there, and then the head's going off the picture anyway, because you're getting the top of his hair here, and then a bit of his fringe. We're going to use a bit of salt there, just to give us that shape. Inside there, and if we draw it correctly now, with a pen, should keep it looking similar to it. He's got his shirt collar. It's quite an interesting shape, nice shadow on it there as well as it goes into his jacket. And then the tie coming out from about here. You don't have to put the creases, the pattern on it, it's up to you. But bottom of the chin, and then the shape here, the strap holding his sax, and then the side of the tie, which is giving that glossy feeling, like that. And then the side of his jacket, and if you look here, this is his shoulder. The other shoulder is going off the picture. Okay, and his lapel, if you want to put the lapel in. That's about it. And the other lapel is quite interesting because there's a line there, you can hardly see it, and then you get a shadow here for the lapel. You can hint at the sax if you want to. And I'm going to use a pen. It's waterproof, this one, because I don't want to have runny paint, ink everywhere. I'm just going to slightly draw around the shapes I've already put in, so I do know where the end of his face is, and his nostril and his nose, yeah, things like that. Start over this side. Nice shadow for the eye, a lovely curve and a shadow. So this is a lovely negative, can you see? It's a nice negative space that blends into the background. Get these shapes right, it will end up kind of slightly looking like him. We've got a grip there and then a shadow on the nose. So you have two dark shapes there before you get to the nose, like that. And as I'm coming down across here, this disappears, and that's the shadow. And then you get a nostril, and we get the bigger nostril, again, nice and dark. This is coming into the creases in his forehead. It's coming up here a little bit. Just got a line there which I need to kind of line up with this one, and then that goes around, yeah. So I can put the thickness of the glasses in, keep them similar size. This should be slightly smaller than this one, which is, and then this is coming around, connects to that bit which is coming off. Alright, and then this one has a lovely shadow. Again, that should be connected to this one. So they all kind of link up. Right, you got the shape of the eye, you've got a shadow inside the spectacle, we've got a curve in there, and then we've got the reflection on the glass again, similar to that one, and a bit more reflection over here. Just draw what you see, don't try and draw eyes or anything like that. Shadow over his nose, it is some of his moustache, this nice shape, the side of his nose and his nostril, nothing too dark there. I'll put that highlight in on his nose, and highlights here as well. Thickness of the spectacle at the top. So we've got the thickness of his ear there catching the light. We've got a triangle there. This comes down to that little thing that comes out from your ear. Don't know what it is, what it's called. Somebody will tell me. And that goes into the background. So it's disappeared into the background. The shape of his hair. And then from here, I've got a lovely line that's going down from this. So at first I'm going to look at the curve of this line, because it goes around his jaw, like that. And then it joins up with this one, like that. And then it connects up to this one. So it's the reflection of his arm of his spectacles there on his face, and the distant. You can see how it goes slightly wider as it curves away. This is where he's buffing his cheeks out. Top lip, corners of the mouth, very dark. Yeah, you can cross that if you want. And then where the lips meet, again we can draw that shadow, which is the bottom of the mouth. Put a few lines in for his mouthpiece, like that. And then the curve of a saxophone with his curly hair a bit. And that goes into the background anyway, so you don't need to bother too much. It's a lovely dark shape. I'm going to come from here, make that bigger later, and then under his chin it goes a little bit darker, crease that chin, the winding gear, that's what they call it, and then this one going up into his shirt collar. That gives you this lovely reflected light. So tie. Oops, my pen's running out. I'll put the line in for that front of his jacket and shoulder and lapel. Bits of info. And then this side of the lapel. Alright. And do a bit of a tie, got a shadow there. And that's about it. Get your eraser. I don't think I've missed anything. Apart from keeping the spectacles level, I'm just going to rub out any lines I don't need for, especially where the light is on his face, because you don't want those lines showing, and his nose, can you see? Spectacles, light. Chin. Doesn't matter too much over this side. It's a bit shadowier. And back. So you're just left with a simple line. That's something to work to. Alright, that's all you need. Because if you start doing too much detail, too soon, that's what we're trying to get away from. Not too much detail. You can use this in your studio painting. Try some. I'm going to try some inks. I think in the next series of 12, I think we need to try some lovely ink washes. So while I'm just going to look at the shape of his forehead, where you're getting a bit of light, and then it's like a triangle shape where the shadows are. So it's and his chin, where you're getting that little bit of light, so you can darken that. Okay, nice and loose. Bit of wax. Again, try and find a spot where you can create a straight edge, especially if you're doing spectacles, because you want it to be a thin, straight line. Alright. So if I look at the spectacles, on the top, I've got a thin, straight line. Can't see. I've just had it, lost it again. Look at the spectacles, just on the top there. There's a bit near the side, something coming down in the middle, then you've got that lovely white kind of bars, a little bit at the bottom. Put a little white bit on his nose, and these specs you've got it curving in to his nose and it stops, and then we've got the inside which is white. I'm just going to add a little bit here. Go do them all the way around, you can help it. On the mouthpiece, got the light catching his little side areas, and that one. Then underneath we've got some light catching here, and then you got a lovely strip of light on the side, because it's getting a reflection. There's a couple of little bits here, I think there, yeah. And that's about it. I could put some on his collar. In fact, I've not rubbed his. That's what happens if you don't rub it out, see? Get a black smudge. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, yeah, put the wax sparingly anywhere. So, if you look inside his ear there, it's quite a nice area where you're getting that wax. Just catching the bottom of it here. If you like. Nothing else up here. A little bit of white there. A little bit here. And that's it. Leave well alone. If you want to put the shadow in later, because I've just noticed we've got the shadow of his saxophone. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Colour. All we have to do now is, like people say, throw some colour at it. Let's have a drink of water and see what happens. If you think about the light, Best move that, I don't want a bit of brush in it. Think about the light, where it's coming from. Above. Okay, you can tell with the shadows, so the shadow of this is there, so the light's coming from here all the way, and it's same here as well because it's the spectacles. It's just that distance. I haven't put a line there because that slightly disappears. We've got a thin line, but I'm going to leave that for now. Okay, and then we can actually have a paint round. There's not a lot of white areas on his face apart from the tip of his nose and his spectacle. So a lot of it's going to be kind of lots of sienna. So I'm picking up some sienna, mix it in my big palette, which is, we can see that one. I need my cloth as well, so you need a cloth to keep dabbing your brush on just to get the excess water out. Same old, I'm sure you've heard it all before. Don't need any yellow, I don't want him turning yellow. Alizarin, next one, so that's quite a bit there, like that. And then I'm adding some ultramarine blue. You can use a lot of blue with fellas because it gives them that kind of, you know, the shadow on the face. Don't recommend it using it with ladies, but unless she's got a beard. But no, use a lot with fellas, doesn't really matter. I've also got a bit of green I'm going to use because I do like turquoise, as you may know, as well. But the first colour I'm going to pick up is this lovely warm burnt sienna. And let it run, let it create. Does it matter? Does it egg? At the same time, sienna coming into the face up here. So we're going a little bit darker on the left hand side. Doesn't really matter too much here because I've got wax on. Yeah. Bit sienna, especially around the mouth. I'm going to add some blue here as well now. Clean your brush, get some blue. A bit more alizarin actually as well. So the blue is on the side of his face here, into the shadows, inside his spectacles, bottom of the glasses. Doesn't really matter there because it's disappearing into the hair. You can see I'm going to put some salt in his hair just to give me get movement going, just to give me that hairline, if you like. Hairline. The side of his ear. We'll just warm the ear up a little bit because there is light catching it, and then we can drag this down into another cool shape, which is that side of his face. I'm just following these shapes around the nose because it's cooler under his nose as well, because light's coming from above, so it's cooler there. It's also a little bit lighter there and warmer, so we'll take that off. You can add a bit of alizarin around the mouth and bottom lip, give it some warmth, and top of the nose. Okay. So a lot of this is going to be, so here it doesn't matter because I'll be painting around it later. More blue, that's water, more blue. Okay, right down into the chin, like that. Which is also going to go into his kind of shirt tie, doesn't matter. Because we don't really know what colour his shirt is. You can add other colours. Oh, it's damp. Got a bit of sienna there, a bit of sienna here, on the face, let it run a bit. Add the shadows. If you want to use a bit of kitchen roll, it's got a really nice light on his cheek, but it's light enough anyway, that, so I'm just going to leave it to run a little bit. Give me a dark, I'm going to use a bit of green and blue just to give me this shadowy bit, the side of his face, and the back of his head, and into the front, where the strap is, yeah. Splatter it. If you want things to if you don't want a straight edge, just blend it. So you get a line, a run, grip. Create something that isn't in the picture. Yeah. Take it off the sax a little bit. Everything will be put a bit of a stripe on it, a bit too fussy. Everything will be reflecting the light around him, so even the saxophone's going to be this lovely kind of illusory, especially in the middle here, so you're getting this, yeah, like that, and then here, put off the picture. A little bit of dark, that's all. You can add sienna to that. So if you want to get reflected light, just add a bit of sienna underneath. Keep full. Nice and light. And then just around the hairline, a bit of splattering here. And into the background shape. Just so you can see where the hairline finishes. And his forehead starts, you know. Not too much, just leave that a little bit. Okay, I do want that to dry a bit because I want to create that shape around the side of his face there. It's quite a dark shape here, where his ear is, and into this side of his face. I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to use a bit in the features. Okay. Stand back. Is it there? Yeah, it's there. You can add water. If you get straight edge and you just want to soften it, just add water. It runs into the soft edge. You don't have to have an area, a line where it starts and finishes. Right, and I'm going to look at some of the shadows now. So I'm going to dry him off in the air dryer. Small brush. Start using alizarin and burnt sienna, less water. Okay. We're thinking about some of these shadows now, especially around spectacles, and the side of his face. We can go over the dark bits. Right. Not a lot of water. Side of the face, going into the spectacles, and then coming outside into the shadows. We can use a bit of alizarin and blue, and that blends into some of the shadows around here, into his face. So we take the light off and blend it with. Blend it with a bit of water. soften the edges like that, so you can't see the joint. Anyway, do the same here, just to give him that kind of shadow on the side of the nose. There. I've also got this shadow up here on the nose as well, so it can come all the way down. This is just the alizarin, okay, and then you go into this area, which is a little bit darker because slightly underneath his nose, and then into where his light. It should be lighter there actually. Let's take some light off where the crease is right at the side of his nose. Got a lovely light area. So that's just a nice soft wash. Do the same over this side if you like, just to keep it slightly darker here. And again, soften it with your brush. Alright. Alizarin bit sienna. So I'm going into the eye. I've got a little bit of light here. Then it goes dark. This one, I'm going to use my bigger brush. The crease in his forehead, which is going into this shape at the top of his forehead. Which changes to alizarin actually there. I mean, I don't know, I'm just using that as a cool tone. And then here we're going slightly darker, just to give me that little bit of a shadowy bit. Soften it. And here. So underneath there is where the shadows are. Bit more alizarin, blue, alizarin, burnt sienna, sorry. You can add a bit of blue to it as well. Because we're looking at the darker bits. Side of the nose, even the spectacles at the bottom. You start to put these in where you see these shapes. Okay? It's like that shape goes around there as well. Bit of blue. I don't want to do too much of this because it takes it away from the picture. I'm still building up some of this warm and cool. Inside the specs, lift off. From here, not a really dark shade though, which is going to be part of the background. It actually is the shape of the spectacles. We've got the same thing happening here. Bit of blue. That's that white bit. And then we go under there. That's the shadows. Blend that in. I'm going to go darker still later. Top of the eye, and then this shadow comes out from there. That goes around here, and then we get a bit of top of the spectacles, yeah, things like that. And the nose, keep this nice and dark. First, and then we're going to put the nostril in because it's quite dark. Soften it. Just keep the light there if you can. We use the same blue and alizarin just for his moustache. And when you do the moustache, don't do too much. Yeah, you want it to be just some of the little hairs, giving the shape of the face actually, not too much. And then we're going to nostril and the mouth. So the mouth is mainly cool colour, so it's kind of this lovely cool. Again, soften it with the brush. Take water out and then take the excess off. So you get reflected light there. Okay? And then here we've got light on the mouth, but I've not left it, so what I'll have to do is just do the bottom lip, which is like that. And a bit of blue, just to give me the shape. And then we got this kind of shape at the side of his mouth. Yeah. Stand back, bottom of the lip, the shadows under the lip, which goes a little bit darker there. And then we've got this. I'll have some alizarin for this bit, because that's in shadow on that other side of his face. Yeah. That cheek. This comes down into. Use the side of your brush just to blend into this shape that I've left under his chin. Okay, so that kind of blends into there. You can see into the side of the chin. I'm more interested in, if you want to use a big brush, when you're bigger area, you should use a bigger brush. I'm doing it myself. So if I kind of go from where the roll is, this is his first, and then this, so this is quite dark, you can see. So I can just leave that actually and let it create that shape of his chin. This doesn't look out of place because it's got quite dark areas. Okay, stand by. So there is kind of mid-tone value. He's not running too much at the moment. I'm going to add some more blue, a bit of green, probably a touch of red into my hair in the background, just to make him disappear a bit. There you want. You can leave bits of him. I need the ear to come out really. So the head kind of just emerges from this background shape. So to stop that, I'm just going to throw some salt on it, stop it running a bit. We're going to go darker. There's red, blue. These are the main darks, okay? So if we go inside that ear, and then outside, and around that we'll put some wax, and the side of his chin, his ear, sorry, like that. Because that's wet, it's just going to blend into the side of his neck. Right, you can always spice that up with some spattering technique. A little bit more darker colour. Start working your way up to green and blue and red, sorry. Using the side of the brush just to give me his kind of hairline. Just there. Stand back. And we can glaze his hair later if it needs to go darker. A bit more of a shape. So if I start with the green and the red, you can add blue to that. It gives a nice darker tone, can you see? And this is, a lot of this is what I'm going to use for these darker shapes around the face. Right. So looking at the shapes around his tie and then his tie, shadows. Use a bit of blue for his shirt. which is in shadow. You can also make this a little bit darker, because where his shirt is his chin, his other chin. Sorry. Corners of the mouth, a little bit of darks here and there like that, kind of slightly blending together around the sax. Again, just add little bits of dark around underneath the chin there. Stand back, and we're going to make him stand out more. Green, blue, red, thicker pen. That's water. Okay, so I'm just looking at shapes, so we can kind of bring out the side of his head, his hairline. So that disappears into the back of the head. This one, of the shadow, nice and dark actually. This one, thicker. Just make sure it's dry under there, because you don't want it to start running. This goes into, see that shape, this goes into this lovely dark area. Red and green. That goes inside the spectacles there. Very, very strong shadow. And just a little bit outside. Shadow. Keep that line lovely and straight. Same over here, so inside there, around the specs, because it's shadowy, you can just see the thickness of the lens, actually. This bit, which goes into our background. This comes around here, picks out the nose, actually, and picks out this shadow, his cheek, which again blends into so that. And then just above his eyebrow, you got this dark shape, just with the spectacle. Just a range of it. It's very warm in this room. Right, so I'm starting adding darks. This is where you should start to repeat. It's by magic. Got a little bit of blue, especially on one side, because any shadows I can see, I'm just going to blend them in like that, to give him this blue underneath the nose, for instance, like that, and at the side of his sax. And a bit of alizarin, so that's coming out from here again. And the creases in his foot, across that, into the forehead. Stand by. spectacles are the main thing really, because they're actually reflecting the light. There's a lot of light in there. And the shapes within the specs are going to bring out those lights more. So again, using a little brush, I'm just looking at some of these areas now that we've got these kind of reflections in the spectacles, yeah. And this lovely shadow of the eye. And keep a little gap there because the thickness of the rim. All that wet. Just to bring out that lovely beer. So we've got the kind of what I did to the paper. I just wanted to make it look, it's behind the head, you know, so it's not part of the picture, it's not part of his head. Just give these lovely kind of shapes too. And that brings out the side of his cheek. It also brings out the saxophone, or the top of it. You see? And the bottom. Oh, there's a lot there, yeah. Okay, spatter. Taste, yeah. Get some spatters off his nose. Doesn't really matter if it's old guy. And we can start adding more glazes. These are glazes. So these are warmer colours over the top of dried pigment. Just to add texture. I've got a big one there to do, you can see. The side of his face here as well. I'll finish off the darks around the mouth and then let's see what we can do background, because it's 2 o'clock already. Lovely dark that, corners of his mouth again where his moustaches, inside the mouth, and then so these really nice, these really nice darks that I put in earlier, but they're not as dark now. See, saxophone. Dry brush technique. Dry brush, no water, hardly any water. Okay, let's look at the shadowy bits. I thought his nostrils were dark before, but they're not. Once they're dry, they're lighter. Top of his eyebrows again, forehead, chin, side of the chin, bit of spray, keep it wet. Tie. That will blend because it's wet. Disco outside. Corners of the eye actually blends in there into a kind of just dark shape, so I don't need to put that in. Neighbour's home there. I can always tell he has his car radio full blast. I don't want to do too much around that it's hair. I want it to stay in the background. It's all about the head. Stand back. I won't be using too much, if any, white on this. You could dry him off, sorry. I'm trying to think ahead. Big brush, bit of sienna, azurine, mix it together and we'll do the shadow I was talking about earlier. I'm going to come all the way down in the side of his face. I want that to blend in to the top of his forehead as well. There. So there's just to darken it. Into the cheek. Down the face, nice soft haired brush, yeah, into there, and then the jawline. So I'm just glazing that, you see, to warm it up a little bit. If it starts running, just dry it. Not that long. You can do the same now with the just this side of his chin because it's quite dark. It's just a bit of alizarin. See? And keep that light. Top of his lip. Look it up, finish off. Don't fly. Don't fly when you're having fun. Just blending that bit, sorry. Oh, it's spitting on him. Excuse me. Pattern of his tie if you want to. I mean, patterns are good for bringing out shapes. You know. Or realism, if you like. I might just have a bit of green in there, John. You mix your green with the blue and the sienna and just warms it up a bit like that. If you want to. Textures in the background. Can have a bit here as well. And with a spray. I've got some wax around his glasses, so it's not too bad. He's not going to go into the glass. I can paint around around his spectacles. So that gives you the shape, doesn't it? Inside. And here. Put a bit of salt in there, give it some texture. Give it a blow. This needs to blend a bit. Again, we can use alizarin and blue just to knock it back. Alright. And his ear, which I did make warm, is now cool. Warm his ear up a little bit. And there you go, I think. Charles Davies, is it? Somebody tell me his name. Forgot his name. Yep, there you go. We can leave a lot of it. Let's draw a line there actually. Just, keep it clean. That's the main thing. Glaze over this, slightly in shadow, that bit. Glaze over this. You can do a lot later when you glaze, see. Just to add the shadows. A bit darker. Okay. Turn it to all and have a look at it in a couple of hours if you want to. If not, oops, forgot a shadow on his tie. Need something. It's like this tie just coming out there and casting a shadow, and that's the other side of his lapel. I forgot that bit. We can't go wrong really. Bit of jazz. Yeah. Bit of jazz. Warm up his jazz. I'm going to leave it because it's running and I don't want to stop it. Well, I could stop that bit. I don't want it running. For your watercolour. We're painting in the style of on Monday, I think. Is this 5? Yeah. Anyway, I'll put something up quite quick so you can have a look at him. Got quite a few now with suggestions as well. So I will let you know in good time who we're doing, why we're doing it, really. Get the tape off. Beautiful white border. See, measles spiraling out of control. See those simple colours. Nothing too fussy. And there you go. He's blowing his saxophone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you Monday. Have a go. Put them up. Let's see what you can do. Throw it on. Bye now.